Hi, my name is Robin Wong. I'm a photographer based in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I have with me the original Olympus OMD EM1. This camera was launched 10 years ago and revisiting the EM1 today. Let's do this! This particular Olympus OMD EM1 was a very significant camera, not just for Olympus and Micro Four Thirds, but also for overall mirrorless system. This is the first pro camera for Olympus in the mirrorless lineup. It became the DNA for all other mirrorless cameras to follow. This was also the first camera from Olympus that convinced me to switch fully to Micro Four Thirds system. Before the Olympus EM1, I was using the DSLR E5, also a 4/3 system, and this camera was good enough for me to actually make the full switch. And I was using this EM1 as my main workhorse for about 4 years before I upgraded to the OMD EM1 Mark II. So this is quite a significant camera for myself in my professional work as well. For today's POV shooting session, I'm pairing the Olympus OMD EM1 with the 12-40 f2.8 Pro lens. After all, this lens was launched together with the EM1 at the same time. I really love this lens. I think the 12-40 Pro is a versatile lens. It gives me very good zoom range, starts from wide 12mm all the way to 40mm, and the lens is sharp across the entire zoom range, and the bright aperture f2.8 constant allows me to do a lot, rendering a little bit of shallow depth of field and of course doing some work in low light. This has been my staple lens for many years. It's always in my camera bag, although I've mentioned many times that I prefer to use prime lenses for my work. But this lens will always be in the camera bag, sometimes for convenience or in places that I can't change lens. The 12-40 is my go-to lens. And today I'm not alone. I have Matti Sulanto. Let's ask him some questions. Hey Matti, what's up?
Hi Robin, I'm all good. Taking a photo walk here with my Sony camera today.
I understand that you have used the Olympus EM1 before. So what are your thoughts?
Well, yes, I had two EM1, the first version,
the original.
Two of those back in the day, and I used them a lot for many assignments, and I think it was one of the first, or maybe the first professional, semi-professional Micro Four Thirds camera, and I liked the camera a lot back then.
So Matti, you have used the EM1 extensively. What do you like and what you don't like about the camera?
Wow, it's been a while, but I think I really like the overall responsiveness of the camera and the tiny lenses. And what I did not like was probably the only major thing was the continuous autofocus, which back in the day it was not up to the best DSLRs back in the day. When I was, for example, shooting moving cars, I had some trouble, so I struggled a little bit with that camera.
That's very true. Yes, if you are doing a lot of moving subjects, the EM1 probably is not the best camera for you. At that time, There are also no other mirrorless options. Of course, today technology has advanced so much with the computational AI photography and the camera that Matti is using now. What's that?
This is my Sony a7 IV and the Sony 40mm f2.5 lens.
I'm sure that camera can do a much better job with the continuous autofocus.
Oh man, the autofocus on this camera, this setup is magic. What else can I say? It's the best.
All right, let's go and grab some more shots. There are many things that made this Olympus EM1 a truly remarkable camera. And of course, this camera is a game changer in the industry. First of all, we have the super fast autofocus, which made this camera really reliable when it comes to professional shoots. I did a lot of events, weddings using this camera, and it shows that mirrorless cameras can be as fast or even faster and more reliable than DSLRs. Also, I believe this is the first weather-sealed mirrorless camera, a first rugged body with magnesium alloy build and full weather sealing. It shows how serious Olympus was when it comes to making a mirrorless camera. And of course, this EM1 sets the example. Everyone else now has weather-sealed rugged body from any brands they can think of. And not just that, this camera also features built-in electronic viewfinder. Having the electronic viewfinder changes the way we see things. This Olympus EM1 was launched 1 year after the original EM5, the first OMD from Olympus. They improved everything. They improved the 5-axis image stabilization, they improved the electronic viewfinder, and this is truly a blueprint for what a true professional mirrorless camera should be. I personally think that one of the reasons why this Olympus OMD camera works is because it follows closely to what makes a DSLR a great camera. First of all, it has a large beefy grip, so hand holding the camera is comfortable. I can use this camera for long durations of time. It balances well with any lenses slightly larger than this or even the smaller prime lenses from Olympus. It's just such a joy to use. It also has a built-in electronic viewfinder, which is similar to how you use a DSLR. You shoot through a viewfinder, and it has this twin dial control, the front and the back dial, to quickly access the important exposure parameters. The way that I handle an Olympus OMD camera is exactly the same as the way I would handle a DSLR. That's why the transition from using a DSLR to an Olympus OMD is so easy. The Olympus EM1 was launched 10 years ago, so the question here is this camera still worth recommending in this year 2023? Well, the short answer is yes. In terms of sufficiency, this camera is more than enough to do a lot of even the photography needs today. It still produces fantastic image quality. The focusing is still very fast. In fact, you'll be surprised that the autofocus on this EM1 is faster than a lot of new cameras that's launched in the past 5 years. And that's quite an achievement from Olympus. Trust me, the autofocus on this camera is really, really good. It still has a lot of interesting features like 5-axis image stabilization, live composite. It has tilt screen, and I actually prefer using the tilt screen for a lot of photography that I do. I acknowledge that the swivel screen is better for video, but for photography, tilt screen is more convenient. It's definitely easier to operate. And overall, I think it's great value for money if you can get one in the used market in a good condition for a good price. Another thing that I must say about this EM1 is reliability. I've done so many jobs in the span of 4 years using this EM1 as my main workhorse. My backup camera was EM5. And during those course of shooting with the EM1 as my main camera, the camera has not failed me. It has always delivered fantastic results. The autofocus is fast and it's accurate. It has nailed all the important moments and my clients were really happy with my shots. And that 16 megapixel sensor, the image sensor, some will say, it has small size, it is micro four thirds, it has limited dynamic range, the low light performance is not good, but my clients never complained and they have always been happy with my shots, and I get really good shots with this camera so far. So people will say, full frame camera is better, this and that, but you know what, if you truly have used this camera professionally as a tool, I think you would see that this is actually quite a capable camera. That's all I have to share about the Olympus OMD EM1. Have you used one, or do you still own one yourself? Let me know in the comments below, share your thoughts on the camera. I would love to hear from you. As for me, I'll continue getting a bit more shots. And if you found my sharing beneficial, or if you enjoyed looking at my photographs, please consider buying me a cup of coffee, or you can contribute directly to my PayPal. Links in the description below on how you can do that. Any small contribution goes a long way. It'll definitely help me to continue making more content and publish them right here. Until the next one, go out and take more photographs. Bye-bye. Stay there. I'm so terrible.